Welcome and thank you for coming to the 91st AGM for Dixon Hall, a very unique AGM. Our first one online, and it's only partially online as we had some technical difficulties this evening. So we are taping this and hopefully sharing this on the Dixon Hall YouTube channel for everyone and all members to see at a future time. And if you weren't able to ask a question, feel free to send a question in and we will get back to you, but we will take the questions that were raised previously. My name is Rod Bulger. I have the honor and privilege of being the chair of the board of Dixon Hall, a truly remarkable organization, and an organization that somehow becomes more remarkable each year. And although this meeting is taking place virtually, I want to recognize that Dixon Hall operates on the lands of a number of indigenous peoples, and the treaty that binds these lands and its people together serves as a reminder to use the spaces we are given thoughtfully and positively. And as the chair of Dixon Hall Neighborhood Services, I would like to welcome our board members who continue to support the important work of Dixon Hall. So as I say your name, please wave on the Zoom screen. Suzanne Gossage, Vice Chair and Chair of the Fundraising Committee. Unless you happen to be on the phone, then virtually wave and we'll pretend we saw you. Some are on the phone.
I'm on the phone. Hi.
Cameron Scrivens, Vice Chair. Thompson Egbo, Secretary and Chair of the Real Estate Committee. Scott Bell, Chair of the Governance Committee and the Co-Chair of the Strategic Planning Committee. Other directors who are present: Barbara Feldberg, Jordana Greenberg, Tim Mosley, Trevlin Kennedy, Dave Munn, Kelly Lawless, and Ron Stokes. We also have several members of the leadership team, including our Chief Executive Officer, Mercedes Watson, and several of her leadership team. If each of you would please wave. Allison, Dwight, Laura, Chris, Fulia, Eric. Did I miss anyone? Okay, great. Welcome. This is usually a very festive evening filled with great food, fellowship, and entertainment. This year we'll try to endeavor, and I'm not sure if the musical piece is going to take place. Mercedes will cover that when she speaks a little bit later. Hopefully that's able to take place. If not, we'll try to figure something out.
It will. It's Bob.
It will.
It will. Terrific. Okay, so we will, and then hopefully you can have some food as you're watching this on YouTube at some future point. But we do have some business to take care of. This is our AGM, and so with that, I will ask Thompson Egbo to start the business of the meeting.
I, Thompson Egbo, Secretary for Dixon Hall, certified that a notice of the annual meeting for today, September 15th, 2020, was mailed to all members of Dixon Hall in accordance with the provisions set out in our bylaw.
Thank you, Thompson. I will now formally constitute the meeting by confirming that the meeting has a quorum and can proceed. The previous meeting was held 365 days ago on September 16, 2019, a leap year. Are there questions arising on the business of the prior meeting? I'm not sure if the minutes will be available on the screen, but hopefully you have received them and can take a look at them. Absent the meeting minutes being available on the screen, I would like to seek a resolution approving the minutes. Here they come. Dwight is sharing them. Can I seek a resolution approving the minutes of the 2019 AGM? And if you are proposing or seconding, please state so and state your name clearly, although it will likely be one of the members who are visible on the screen. So do I have a primary motion?
Tim Mosley.
Tim? And I saw Thompson second it. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I deem these the resolution passed at the meeting are complete or formalized. Moving on with the meeting, now that we have the meeting formally established, we have a few things to take care of. I will open with some opening remarks, And for those of you in attendance last year, you will recall that last year we celebrated the 90th birthday of Dixon Hall. And at that meeting, I ironically cited the stock market crash of October 29th, 1929, and how that precipitated the opening of Dixon Hall as a soup kitchen exactly 1 month later on November 29th, 1929. I talked about how unemployment rose to record levels and that Dixon Hall helped people survive and get through those difficult times. And although the economy's recovered since then, we saw several recessions. None have had the severity of the Great Depression and seems so far in the past. But now with the COVID-19 pandemic, we are seeing a situation where the people of Toronto, the people who are served by Dixon Hall, are suffering in ways that they hadn't suffered in many years. And so at the time we were embarking on our 91st year of operations as Dixon Hall, we had so much to look forward to. We were excited to celebrate the opening of the Bill Graham Youth Center. We had so much going for us, and then the pandemic hit. And our city has not experienced such a hit except for when we first opened a full 91 years ago. But thankfully, Dixon Hall is still doing the great things that we do and have done for 91 years, day in and day out. And in spite of the pandemic, our brave frontline employees kept doing it every day. Many weren't able to work from home. They couldn't work from home and do the important work that we're doing. Others were able to work from home, and we were able to continue to have music lessons from home, but we also, and over 12,500 music lessons. We're still able to deliver over 63,000 Meals on Wheels, and we saw the numbers really spike up as the city and the world shut down back in March. We still provided nearly 12,000 rides for seniors for medical and other appointments, despite the shutdown. We still help people find jobs. We provided over 80,000 warm and dry beds at our various housing sites, and an additional 14,000 overnight stays that are out of the cold facilities. Our volunteers went up by 10%, which just shows you the powerful impact that Dixon Hall has and the people of this city looking to contribute. Young people and seniors continued accessing our programs, many virtually, many able to do so in person as time went on using appropriate social distancing measures. This was essential for people, for our clients, to be able to keep a sense of community and to help fight the isolation that social distancing is causing. It's extremely important. Hopefully you read the annual report that's been posted and all the great things that our leadership is doing, our employees and our volunteers are doing on a daily basis. So thank you to each and every one of you. And if you are a donor, thank you. The money you are contributing has never been more important. Keep it coming and be even more generous. And to all our members who are watching, either here live or on the YouTube video, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your commitment to Dixon Hall. And with that, I would like to move to the next elements of our agenda, which is our financial statements. Our treasurer was unable to be here, and so I will provide you with a brief overview of our financial position and results of operations for the year ending March 31st, 2020. And after my brief remarks, I will seek a resolution to review the appointment of auditors, since Grant Thornton LLP has been the agency's auditors since 2010. The growth in Dixon Hall's operations continues as department areas such as housing expand to meet the high levels of need for those most vulnerable in the city. The annual operating revenues grew from $14.7 million in 2019 to $18.4 million in 2020, a growth of $3.7 million or 25% in the last year. The agency was able to achieve a small operating surplus of nearly $60,000, which means that we will continue to deploy substantially all of our agency revenues towards our key services and program offerings. The main source of growth is a result of the additional City of Toronto funding, mainly due to the opening of a respite center on Lakeshore Boulevard. Dixon Hall's ability to secure new contracts as we head into the fiscal year confirms that the work we are doing is impactful. Our ability to build partnerships and increase our efforts to meet the needs of our clients is a testament to Dixon Hall's volunteers, staff, and community partners. Without their tireless dedication and passion for undertaking the mission, vision, and values of the agency, this work would not be possible. Thank you. As we head into a year where we will no doubt continue to increase the number of clients that we serve, we cannot ignore the story that our growth in services tells about those most vulnerable in the city. The needs are increasing. The pandemic has highlighted the many social and economic challenges that are unfortunately present in most large and growing cities in Canada and around the world. And we should not let up on our efforts to find solutions that address critical issues such as truly affordable housing, food insecurity, and social isolation. We'll remain committed to focusing on the social determinants of health as we expand our resources to serve those in our communities in the downtown east and across the city. Also, as we continue to face the racial discrimination that is taking place and has taken place in Canada for over 400 years. With that, I would like to seek the following motion unless there are questions around the financial statements. And so given that, the motion is a little different, which is resolved that the Grant Thornton LLP has been the agency's auditor since 2010, and it is timely to review their fees and also consider either retaining them as auditors or, based on a review, seek new auditors for the agency to address our growing and changing needs. This work will be undertaken by the CEO and Director of Finance together with the Finance Audit and Risk Committee and will be approved by the board. And I take it that this motion will basically give the right to the board of directors to approve the change in auditors until the next AGM. Is that correct, Scott?
Yes, that's my understanding, yes.
Okay, so can I have that motion? Are there questions around the financial statements or the motion? Hearing none, can I have a motion? Scott? I'm gonna go to the second screen in case there's a seconder. I see Cameron. Cameron beat you, Dave, sorry. So we're gonna have Cameron Scrivens as the seconder. And so all in favor? Any opposition? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, so we have now covered the financial statements, and now we are going to move on to a great moment in the program and the events and the meeting, which is the Order of Dixon, which basically was created at the agency's 80th anniversary in 2009, which was the Order of Dixon was created to recognize those special friends who have made an outstanding contribution to the organization. Each year since 2009, the agency has selected 2 individuals to honor and recognize their contribution during the AGM, except for last year when we had a team. This year, we have selected 2 of such individuals to be recognized as individuals and who have championed the Dixon Hall and worked as volunteers, as well as corporate volunteer who has worked and delivered Meals on Wheels. This year's recipients of the Order of Dixon are Leanna Lowe and John Savage. Leanna Lowe has been providing and giving her time to Dixon Hall since at least 2012. She has been described as tireless volunteer, community advocate, and a friend of Dixon Hall. In each of the years 2016, 2017, and 18, she was recognized for more than 100 hours of volunteer service each year. And in 2019, Leona received the Dynamic Duo Award for work with the food program, the Volunteer Committee Team Award for work with the food program, and was recognized for the Volunteers Club 300 plus hour club for volunteer hours of 332 hours in 2020. Thank you, Leona. From washing and ironing linens for the Friday morning breakfast program guests to undertaking local campaigns in support of access to housing for those living in Cabbagetown and the surrounding area, and her personal financial contribution to Dixon Hall, Leona is a force whose kindness and energy is both tireless and contagious. Congratulate Leona and thank you very much for winning the Order of Dixon. Next up is Joan Savage, who is positive, dedicated, caring, and warm. And these are but a few of the words that have been used to describe Joan throughout her years volunteering with Meals on Wheels. Joan started volunteering with Meals on Wheels through the corporate volunteer program as an employee with Manulife back in 2002. And although Manulife is no longer a corporate volunteer group, Joan continues to volunteer every Friday as a Meals on Wheels driver. Anyone who knows somebody at Manulife, please ask them to return to that program. Anyway, Joan, you've done such a great job, and you've been a volunteer for almost 20 years, and you've given so many hours and so much to our clients and the citizens of Toronto. Thank you and congratulations on getting the 2020 Order of Dixon. Okay. It's more dramatic when we're in a room all together with all the members and there's actual clapping. For those of you hopefully are watching this on YouTube, you're seeing the clapping up on screen. If I tried to do that right now, I would probably leave this meeting, so I will not touch my screen. And instead, I will take this opportunity to welcome to the screen and to the virtual stage, Mercedes Watson, our tireless and fantastic CEO, who will present her report and address any questions that were submitted by members. Mercedes.
Thank you, Rod. Thank you, everyone, and thank you so much for participating in our virtual AGM. You've now had the pleasure of hearing from our board chair, Rod Bolger. You've heard his thoughts, as well as our financial outlook for the growing agency. I hope my report will give you an operational peek into the future of the year ahead while anchoring you in the complexities of our present state. As we center our work on the social determinants of health, the recent pandemic, and the social outcry for efforts to seek equity and justice for all in our society, to someday end systemic racism and oppression, it's a difficult backdrop from which to undertake our work and support our clients and community. Dixon Hall will continue to demonstrate our willingness to partner with organizations throughout the city to advocate on behalf of those unable to find a place to raise their voice and be heard. We know for certain that our efforts will be more effective if we also undertake the work necessary to ensure that we are both observing and putting into action our mission, vision, and values within the organization as well as without. Equity must be a fundamental tenet of our policies. Anti-Black racism, discrimination, and biases have no part in the work that we do. And in order to confront and share our experience in this area, the Dixon Hall leadership team has begun our work to ensure we can effectively model positive and essential citizenship behaviors for each other and for our staff teams to be more effective in the ways that we serve. It is my job and my pleasure to ensure we find a successful and safe path towards this discovery, growth, and deeper understanding through our conversations. As we head into our 91st year of operations, we've had to make some critical decisions and complete some incredible agency milestones, including the new Bill Graham Youth Center in Regent Park. It took hundreds of people to make that project live, and as a result, we have been able to continue to provide our services throughout Toronto's downtown east for children and youth, and in tandem with our music school, in a space that encourages them to stay positive, think about the bold and bright futures, and to never stop dreaming about what is possible. Our Housing Services Department continues to change the landscape for those seeking deeply affordable, permanent, and safe housing and necessary supports to make this a reality. Our incredible housing team has managed to rapidly address each new initiative that has been placed before them, not only during our last fiscal year with the running of the new Lakeshore Respite Site, but more recently in the past 6 months to provide their experience and care in hotels supporting homeless clients throughout the city. Dixon Hall has begun work on the properties at 502 to 508 Parliament Street, historical houses built in 1879 in partnership with Toronto Community Housing and the City of Toronto as part of the Tenants First project, with a view to transfer ownership to Dixon Hall once our renovation and restoration work is complete. Our employment services team has been utilizing first-time funding to provide wraparound supports for Ontario Works clients to increase their resilience and equip them for future career employment while moving all of their supportive work to an online platform. Our senior services has continued to operate Meals on Wheels while undertaking much needed telephone check-ins and transitioned to online programs throughout the pandemic while exploring a fully funded first-time research initiative with the McMaster Institute for Research on Aging. All of these departmental efforts have been ably supported by our incredible volunteers, our board of directors, our finance team, our small and incredibly mighty philanthropy and communications department, and our people and culture team. As we start work on our strategic planning, we'll envision the agency in a short-term, mid-term, and long-term, or our 1, 3, and 5 years out, to better map our way to keeping the agency financially healthy and our community strong for as long as our services are needed. None of this work could or can be done without the dedication of all of the staff at Dixon Hall, who have made incredible sacrifices, worked tirelessly, and remained positive while safeguarding our clients, supporting our community, and importantly, helping each other. The questions asked by the members have all centered on when a full reopening will occur. While I do not have any exact dates or can I gauge when that might be, I can tell you that work is being done to ensure our spaces will be in good repair, appropriately signed for safe use, and healthy spaces from which to operate and run our programs as soon as health circumstances allow us to be fully open to welcome you. Thank you for participating in this online AGM. I know I can speak for all of us when I say that we look forward to returning to in-person meetings when we can share and celebrate our achievements face-to-face.
Thank you, Mercedes, and fantastic. So much great work being undertaken by you, your leadership team, and all of the employees and donor and time givers to Dixon Hall. And it's, you know, every year I'm just amazed at the type of work that we're doing, and this year was no different, especially in the height of the pandemic, as our teams fearlessly came to work every day in spite of all the uncertainty surrounding the pandemic, and continued to give to our clients who needed it most. And then the commitment of and the trust in Dixon Hall of the city and other politicians and government programs and donors to continue to increase our services, our testimony to the work that you and your team do on a daily basis. And so speaking on behalf of the board of directors, thank you for everything that you do. And hopefully everyone on the leadership team and all of our employees can maintain our mental health as we move forward and live with the pandemic. So thank you. And so given that, and Mercedes' words, thank you, I will now ask Thompson to return to the virtual stage to take care of some other business of the meeting, which includes the confirmation and formal election of the board of directors.
Great. So we're going to re-elect the directors and introduce the new directors. Oh, great. So the slate is up there. Confirmation of the following board members whose terms are continuing. Rod Bulger, Chair. Kevin Hibbert, Treasurer. Thompson Egg-Vallejo, Secretary. Cameron Scrivens, Vice Chair. Susan Gossage, Vice Chair. Barbara Fehlberg, Director. Scott Bell, Director. Trevin Kennedy, Director. Tim Mosley, Director. Jordana Greenberg, Director. Dr. Robert Nam, Director.
An introduction of new directors to be formally elected by the members: David Mumm, Kelly Lawless, and Ron Stokes. And so I will make a motion. Be it resolved that the noted 11 board of directors terms continue in accordance with the bylaws, that David Mumm, Kelly Lawless, and Ron Stokes be formally elected by the members to serve their first 3-year term with Dixon Hall as directors. And can I get a seconder? I will, Suzanne, wait. Oh, sorry, I did the seconder first. I shouldn't have. What's the first word? I'm forgetting it.
I have a motion.
A motion, yes. Yeah, great. So we've already got a seconder. Can I get someone to put forward? There we go, Jordana.
Excellent. You just wanted to make the new director sweat it out a little bit, huh?
Oh yes, there we go. I kept reading the scripts. I would have realized I would needed somebody to move it, but that's fine. It's time to mute myself.
Thank you, Thompson, and congratulations to our new directors. Thank you for your service and contribution. Very much appreciated. And I'll remind directors that following the conclusion of the AGM, we will have a short meeting of the board of directors, as we typically do. That will be virtual as well, to take care of some business via this same medium. So don't leave. But before we do that, we still have one more important thing. I hope, Bob McKittrick, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
And so is Esther.
Hopefully you have Esther.
She's here.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So we're going to be hearing from Esther. And Esther has been at the music school for 8 years already. And she's a piano student, classical guitar student, choir member. She goes to camp, overnight camp, whenever she can, which is pretty much every time. And she graciously volunteered to perform Mimi by Sylvain Lemay. So, Esther, it's all yours. Yay!
All right, all right. You know, literally clap instead of virtually clap. Thank you,
Thank you,
Esther.
Esther.
Thank you, Bob. I'm sorry, Bob. Go
You're
ahead.
welcome. No, I was just thanking Esther.
Thank you,
Great.
Esther.
Thanks, Esther. Great.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bob, for that introduction to Esther and for your continued leadership of the music school. And look forward to visiting you at the school when we can.
Yes, please do.
And are there any other matters that any member present would like to raise? I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do that, but I figure I will. Okay, hearing none, I will declare our 91st AGM terminated, and thank everyone for attending, and hopefully the production comes out well on our YouTube channel.